I have an opinion. And it's an opinion that if I had a lot of followers, would probably cost me half of my followers or more. If I had viewers, they'd all hang up on me right now. So if you're viewing this in post, you might as well just disconnect. Disconnect. Go find another person to view for the next whatever minutes, and hopefully give me another chance at something else later. But here's the thing, guys. Why does this exist on my screen? I don't even know what that is. Why is that on my screen? Where did that come from? Anyway, I don't even know how that got there. Did I click some hotkey and type the name of my game or something at some point? I don't know what that happened. Anyway, yeah, I don't know what the heck. But here it is. I don't know what people are talking about. They're talking about this thing. Apparently, NVIDIA released a game or I don't know, a new version of DLSS, right? It's DLSS 5. And I don't know if it's just something that's in their new video card. I don't even know much about it. But here it is. People are saying this is stupid. AI is stupid. It's AI slop. It's the worst thing since sliced bread. The world is coming to an end. AI is going to be forced down our throats. We're going to have to deal with garbage like this. Yep. They're saying that AI is creating garbage out of art. DLSS 5 is creating garbage out of art. I'll tell you what, if I was this game developer and I was able to do this, I had the skill to do this as my art, as my model, I would have done this. If I had the skill to make this instead of this, bam, I'm all over it. Now, that's what my opinion is. Apparently, the world disagrees. They all believe this. This is beautiful. This is better. This is this just looks like they could not have done better with this character. Now, I don't even know what game this is, to be honest. I am looking at Sam Does Arts. Now, this guy basically slams AI for everything it does. There's nothing AI can do right by this guy. Okay. Now, to be fair, that is a fact for pretty much every artist out there. AI in no way, shape, or form can create anything that even comes close to looking like art. In fact, it is so yeah, at this point, pretty much every time. No, honestly, I don't get it, folks. I'm gonna complain about this. This, in my opinion, is better than this. This is better than this. I don't care. That's my neophyte art opinion. Now, I am no artist. I don't ever claim to be an artist. In fact, that's the one thing I can safely say I am not. This is an artist. But I feel like I can mostly see good art versus bad art. And I see all the garbage that AI can create. And don't get me wrong, I believe AI is nowhere near a good artist. But here's the thing, people. Bad artists are still bad artists. And AI is better than a lot of bad artists. The thing is, it takes more tries, but it does it quicker. I mean, you can get something good from AI faster than you can get something good from a bad artist. A bad artist will be bad for a while. They won't get it right for a long time. They're going to take years of practice. Now, granted, there are some very skilled people out there who can make AI just look like kindergarten art, right? I get it. So, yeah, AI is not as good as really good artists. It's not even as good as maybe very good artists or modicumly good artists. No, no, I haven't even been on in 2 days. I don't even think I didn't even stream yesterday. So unless you're only coming on every other day or at once a day, I've been coming like today. I didn't stream at all today. I just came. This is the first time I've been on. So yeah, unless you're only coming on when the YouTube sends you a notice, hey, that amazing coder who's not talking about coding half the time is on. So anyway, so look, this is one example, okay? Now this guy, like I said, he slams everything the AI does, and all of his followers are right along with him. They're on the same page. There's nobody here saying, "Oh, I don't know what you're talking about." Nope, they're all like, "Oh, these are crap, man. Why did AI do this? Why is DLSS this?" They're all saying this is crap. One guy says, if I was a game developer and somebody was playing with this filter on, I would cry. I told him, you're strange. If I made a game and people played it with or without the filter, that is the win. Graphics don't make a game good. No amount of filters is going to make a bad game good. That's basically what I told him. You know, I don't care if you're playing with a filter on. And if I was a game developer and all I could do was this, but I would probably have only been doing this because I didn't know how to do this. If I knew how to make my art look like this, holy moly, man, I'm doing it. If AI art does this for me, turns my this into this, I'm all over it. I don't care. I don't know what people are talking about. I look at this and I am not seeing the problem. I mean, the hair even looks good. Now, one of the major problems with AI hair, they say, is that the individual strands of hair tend to blur together. But this hair looks pretty dang good. I'm looking at it and I don't see many problems with this hair. I mean, look, the strands are continuous. They look separate. They look like they're maybe over highlighting each other. But yeah, there might be a few that look a little off, like there's a hair here that maybe looks like it might be overlapping. But overall, this hair looks pretty freaking amazing. And I would say it looks more natural even than this. This doesn't look, I mean, this looks like, you know, your 3D art that you get from game rendering. And this is better. I don't care what people say. Like I said, I'm probably, if I had followers and viewers, I probably lost half of them because if they like art at all, they're gonna call me a dummy. But that's okay. All right, now I agree with this one. All right.
See this one. Oh.
I agree with this. He complains that it made her look old, and yes, it made her look old. She's old anyway. I mean, to be fair, she isn't like a young chick, but she is.
Nearly as jarring.
See, it was a bit much. I get it. And so, yeah, AI don't get it perfect, but it talks like this is just indicative of the entire thing. And to be fair, I'm looking at some of these, like this one. Where's the other one? All right, like this guy. Let's look at him real quick.
She's almost looking like an AI ad character. Here's a shot of Leon before and after.
Tell me that's not better. I don't get it. What? I want to move this bar. I keep wanting to grab this bar and shift it over to the right. Sorry, guys. This is better. All right, so check this one out. This guy.
And he looks about 35.
Oh, wait, no. That's where to go.
Well, he looks 30 years older. I mean, Jesus Christ, somebody put her in the U.S. Congress. Now, here's another...
Look, okay. There's another one. He does look young, but to be fair, he doesn't look that young. I mean, if you looked at this guy, just something about his face shape, his hair, I would not say he was a student. I would not say he's in high school. I would say he's probably in his mid-20s. I'm just looking at this character. I mean, I think he's supposed to be in high school. I think he says. Okay, but then they do the render.
Great shot of someone who's supposed to be.
Now, yeah, his face maybe looks a little shinier, a little greasier, but it just looks more real. And to be fair, they said he looks older. I say he was in his 20s. Maybe he's early 30s here. He doesn't look that old. He does look older. His face looks more real. I mean, it's got real lines in it. But no, he doesn't look like a 35 or 40-year-old guy. He looks like maybe 30-some. It's not bad. And check this guy out. Now, this is his face here.
Be a student.
Yeah, he looks a lot older. So, yes, it ages old, really old. But, in fact, he looks kind of out of place with him. He looks like a troll versus him. But, anyway, look at this guy. Now, this...
Filter being applied, he looks about 35 years old.
Now, this is another one. This face is terrible, okay? Why are you complaining that DLSS 5 took this and turned it into this? This looks good. I think he actually says this one looks pretty good.
It does seem to look a lot better, but there's...
But, yeah, see, he says it does look better. But all of these look...
Still that kind of really uncanny feeling here.
And what do they mean, uncanny feeling? None of them look like real people completely, people. You think the first one looked real? People all have been saying that video game models have looked uncanny, kind of creepy-ish real, since they started looking like real people, even at all. Even when they were only a little bit close to people. You know, in the early 2000s when they were creating them, they go, "That's the guy's kind of uncanny. He's kind of got a weird, kind of creepy vibe." And then they do this. He's got kind of a weird, creepy vibe. It's only because you got used to the garbage that was before. Now they're just getting more and more real, and that makes them look kind of weird. It's creepy. But look, now these guys. This guy kind of looks like him, just darker skin. But anyway, he's got the same cheekbones. But anyway, this is another one. Take a close look at these guys. Now these guys look pretty plain. They look like video game guys. Not bad, but you know, they are what they are.
Now these two I'm going to talk about a lot later, but this
again. Cleaner, sharper, the jaw lines, the expressions, way better. I don't care what you say. You're wrong. You're wrong. I know you hate AI people. You're all you AI haters. You're wrong. It's like, suck it up, accept it. AI is not the devil. It's only the devil to artists who are like afraid they're going to get their jobs replaced. But most gamers, including myself, game developers, I am now officially calling myself a game developer. I've been working on a game now for 16 months. Art is freaking hard. And it's expensive to buy it from good artists. There's a lot of artists now peddling AI art as their own. It exists, trust me. I had a guy actually try to sell me AI art, and I knew it. I could look at it, and I go, dude, this is so obviously crap. You're trying to sell me this? But here, it's just the way it is, man. It's the way it is. AI is going to be around. Stop crying about it and beat it. It's going to make you be a better artist. You're going to have to go out and stop being a garbage artist. You're not going to sell. It's just like the beginner developers. Beginner developers can't get jobs anymore because AI is the beginner developer, maybe even intermediate. But you just got to change the way you train, the way you be better, the things that's going to make you be what AI can't be. And AI art is going to beat all the amateur artists. They may come up maybe with some stuff that's more unique, more new, more different. I don't know, maybe a good, what do you call it? A protege, not protege. What's the word? You know. But anyway, a person who just got it naturally, you know, they might be able to come out with something that's just crazy, interesting, and new, and takes a turn that AI can't do. And yeah, AI is going to figure you out. AI is going to see your art somewhere, and it's probably going to learn to mimic you. It's not going to It's not going to beat you. All you people who think just because someone mimicked your art, people mimic other people's art. Anime out there, half of it out there is not unique creation of the guy who's doing the art. Oh, they're saying this is his art. No, it's not. A lot of that anime is exactly the same. Yeah, he may have made a different face. He made the face rounder or squarer or longer or stretched out the body limbs a bit more, gave the guy wings or gave him some tattoos. But that's not his art. The anime was created and it is at best being mimicked by other anime designers. So get off your high horse, people. You're not all creating amazing, unique art. You're creating unique characters. And that's great. And just because AI is mimicking other AI art, other artist stuff, which is what almost every artist does. They go to the museums, they go to school, they look at other people's art, they study other people's art, they build up a repertoire of reference in their head, and then they go out and create their own art by doing exactly what AI does, and that's to merge everything they've learned into their own thing. And sometimes it looks exactly like someone else's, and sometimes it looks like some amalgamation. And most art is an amalgamation of everything people have learned over time. And that's what AI art is. A lot of it is an amalgamation. Yeah, sometimes it does an exact copy, but no more than some artists are out there drawing portraits of people. Yeah, a lot of times they have to be hired to do it. You know, they're going out and getting paid money to do portraits, but hey, yeah, you might be out of a job because AI could probably do a portrait of you. do a fine portrait of people without paying thousands of dollars. But I'm guessing a really good portrait artist can probably do it better. But again, I'm not saying AI is, going to be creating Van Gogh anytime soon, except to copy it exactly. But AI is fine for mid-tier to lower art. And all you mid-tier to lower artists, get better. That's all I can say. Anyway, so let's see what the next fantastically terrible thing DLSS 5 did. Let's see. He kind of really focuses on some of these. He's 15. I'm telling you, he didn't look 15 to begin with. He did not look 15 to begin with. I don't know where you're getting your 15-year-olds, people, but unless you've been watching 21 Jump Street and thinking those people are 15. By the way, every one of the cops in 21 Jump Street, not 15. Not in high school. In fact, the actors, not in high school. If you think those people are what 15-year-olds look like, you don't know what 15-year-olds look like. Almost every TV show you watch with a 15-year-old in it is probably maybe half of them are 15 at best. And those are the side characters. The main characters, probably 20 or older. So you don't know what a 15-year-old looks like, so stop complaining. Even the original art is at best 20s. So, yeah. All right, what's he saying?
Yeah, there's a lot of intentionality to the way the artists crafted these environments and the light.
Okay, I get it. There's a little bit of a thing where it made the light what it is. They say it's a lot of intentionality. Artists didn't make this face because they wanted this face to look like this face. Period.
Lighting scenarios here, and intentionality is the key word. Now, as we scrub this over with the DLSS 5 version, there's a few key things that I want.
Okay, look. Yes, it doesn't have that foggy feel, the kind of mystical, what do you call it, London-y kind of Sherlock Holmes set look. That's what it did look like. It has that foggy Sherlock Holmes set. I get it. That is feel. But this face, I'm telling you, man, way better. And I've never met the person. I don't know who created this model. But I'm telling you, they would have preferred, I think they prefer this face. Now, they'll probably argue it now. Oh, I wouldn't want that because now they know it's created by AI, in which, by the way, everything in your computer, you didn't generate this flat kind of funky face. True artists would create a really good looking face. It's the limitations of their hardware and their software that prevents them from really getting a good look. A good artist would create a model that looks very real for a realistic style game, but they couldn't because the game didn't support it. And most would do this face over the previous face. They won't admit it. Most of them probably would never admit it. Maybe I'll get some good feedback. A lot of people cussing me out, telling me I'm stupid. But say lovey.
I want you guys to pay attention to here, okay? Number 1 is the shadow underneath the overpass. Number 2 is the light from the street light. Number 3 is the grayness of the background. And number 4 is the light from the shop in the front. In the original image, these elements are lit in a way that is very, very intentional. Okay, the overpass casting.
Yeah, so they're complaining about the background. And in that case, I get it. The feel of the fog and the way it's dark and the way it goes, I get it.
Shadow creates a very gloomy and dark feeling.
Yeah.
The street light here with a very dim orange glow almost gives us an ominous feeling, and you really get the sense of how far away the background is by how desaturated it is.
It is good. It is good the way the light actually reflects off the umbrella.
Objects in the foreground, which again emphasizes just how dark the environment is. Now the problem with AI is
But what did AI do wrong here? It did take away a lot of the fog. I still think the light is doing its thing. All the lights seem to be doing their thing still, but by taking away that softening effect, you kind of take away a little bit of that kind of gloomy background feel. Because a lot of times people put that fog or that blur on the back to give more focus to the main characters in front. This kind of levels everybody out and makes her just look like she's a little bit more just in the world, which is more realistic maybe, but probably not the feeling for a horror. You know, you want the horror to, just like when you watch a horror movie, they tend to put a lot more fog and shadows and darkness in. And in this case, I get it. DLS5 probably erased a lot of that. But that's not. But if we're talking strictly about what it did to her face, I don't think it did anything wrong.
It's not the most realistic. Now, despite all that, there might be some redeeming qualities because I think this one is a much better example of how this could be done right. This looks like the character has actually.
Oh, come on. Cut it out.
Not been changed. He's not.
There we go. Okay. This looks pretty good. Again, I think this is better, and he's at least agreeing with that. So it's. I don't. So those are really his only. Let's see. Do they have any other new characters? Let's see what they complain about this one. Let's see if this continues the trend.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Whoa. Oh. Oh my god. Holy crap. Oh my goodness. It's kind of. Oh gosh. It's kind of. Oh.
What is that?
Oh. It's kind of nice, honestly.
I don't know what that.
Before, the primary light source looks as though.
Okay, again, I'm sorry, people. Face is better. She looks better, more real, looks cleaner. But I'm sure he's whining about it.
It's the ambient light coming from the sky. Again, a very soft, diffused light. Again, that is clearly not the intention of the artist who. Crap.
Okay, so this is what it looks like before. Is it intentional? Okay, so when you're developing a game, it's not always that. I mean, yes, it is what they came up with. This is what they decided looked right to them at the moment. But is it intentional? I get it with the gloomy feel of a horror story. You want the fog and you want that dark shadows. But I don't know that it's intentional in the sense that you wouldn't mind it being improved. Most people, I could get, again, I say this from the perspective of a non-artist. I guess it's possible the guy knew exactly, the guy, the girl, the whoever was working on this scene knew exactly what they were doing. And they wanted it to have this kind of yellow hue, kind of flat look. But
After December.
I don't know. I feel like I like the right side better. If it were me playing the game, I'd be more impressed with the right side than the left. If it's the artist's intent to go the other way, I don't know. I don't know if that's his intent or not. But if it were me, I'd be happier with the right side than the left. I think a lot of times, they're developing these things and they're playing with the lights and they're trying to get as realistic feel as they can. And they settle. They find the spot that feels right at the moment. But perhaps they didn't try this kind of a look. Or, again, maybe it was about the hardware. Maybe they couldn't do this kind of a look. But now with DLSS 5, they can. I don't know. But truly, this is better. Again, in my feel. So this is, again, spoken from a non-judgmental person. I'm not. So many of these people, these artists, are all very judgmental. It's like his entire stream, a lot of his videos are about being judgmental, slapping on AI, telling people how terrible and how wrong it is. And sometimes he gives it a little bit of credit, but mostly he just says, nope, it's always wrong.
There just seems to be zero regard for the original vision here, and it just seems to be blunder after.
And so he keeps talking about the original vision like he knew the guy. Like, this is my best friend Joe. He told me specifically how he didn't want this to be real. I wanted to have a flat look, and I wanted it to not really pop out. I didn't want too much skin detail because it drew away from the fun of the game, he told me. Dude, I really doubt you were there. I'm sorry. I really doubt you were there. And unless you know these artists in person. Now, artists oftentimes get offended by people changing their art in any fashion, even if it wasn't good. So it is possible the artist would be offended. But if the artist were to look back and in his honest mind had actually looked at what the AI, and was able to come up with that AI art on his own, I get it. Maybe I think he would keep it. I think he would keep it. Okay, so this image, I kind of sort of in a way understand again. Again, the new video took away the fog. It took away, because shadows, Assassin's Creed Shadows, it implies that this game is about an assassin, right? They lurk. They're creeping around. Things are not sharp because they're hiding in the blurs, in the shadows, in the fog of the world. And the right side says, nah, we're going to take away the fog. We're going to make this sharp and clean, and this assassin's going to stand out like a sore thumb on the top of that cliff. But if you blur everybody together, give her dark clothes, sit her on top of a rock, put her up in the trees where it's kind of foggy and blends a little bit, her blue clothes don't stand out that sharp. And there's no real contrast to everything. It allows her to be an assassin, just a little bit more blended in with her surroundings, because she's not very smart assassin, and she wears blue clothes in a green forest. But in a world with colors that aren't sharp and aren't crisp, and there's lots of fog, her blue clothing doesn't look like such a bad choice. So there you go. This does look sharper, cleaner, but it probably doesn't fit the aesthetic of the game. And so there are points where I think the DLSS5 doesn't understand the intent. So there are intents behind certain features. It needs to be smarter. Yes, they need to generate smarts that say how to clean up detail without losing intent. I mean, I think you can. I think you could probably sharpen things in this image, but without losing the fog. And again, by fogging out these boats and trees and things in the background, you're allowing the focus to remain on the cleanest, clearest character. So these guys are fogged on purpose. I mean, it's about making the main character stand out without making her stand out like an assassin would. So there you go. I have given you my opinion. Have at it, man. But if you're too mean, I'll delete your comment. Anyway, this was totally unrelated to my game, which, by the way, I have been offline for a reason lately. I have been working hard to rebuild my offline architecture because I found a bug. It's not a bug. It's a bad design decision. And it's actually the second bad design decision I made with regards to offline architecture. And again, this comes from being new to the game development world and the understanding of the tools I'm using because they're all new to me. But as I learn and figure things out and find out what it can and can't do and what I should and shouldn't do, I've had to change directions a couple of times. First, I use LightDB. And of course, I let AI help me to get through LightDB, and I was starting to get offline stuff on there. And then I realized it says some of this data is supposed to be there, and I'm running my offline device, which was so cool to get the game running on there, having it pop up, create leagues and stuff. It's getting cool, man, on my phone. And eventually, I'm slowly starting to get everything in place to make a demo. But the problem is it was splitting. It was creating a SQLite DB for the Mongo Go interactions while using LightDB to work with C# interactions, which was splitting my data sources and blowing everything up. And I didn't even realize I was doing that. Well, okay, this is, again, partially because I was working with AI. Yes, I know, AI is the devil. For all you AI haters, I know AI is the devil. Or at least closely related to him. And that's my fault. I was allowing AI to do some of that stuff because I didn't know it. But knowing code, understanding where things are and what they're supposed to do and where they're going, which is truly where developer jobs are going to go. Understanding what's staying on top of it to the point where you're aware of when things are going the wrong direction. Like I caught this fairly early, like the only first couple of things going on in there. So I said, well, we need to do this all in one. So I told it to start restructuring, get rid of all the LightDB crap. We're going with SQLite. That required me to build a couple more things. And then I realized, well, okay, so that was my first redirection. The second redirection was I had to go with, I had to change my architecture slightly because I was under the impression, having did some research, that I could use a single source of code for my online and offline code. If I used Go, you could use Go Mobile, and you could translate basically the exact same code you have. All your business logic can work both in the front and the back. Kinda. Okay, so all my research did not tell me the kind of part. It's not kind. It's not fully. You can't take all Go background code that works in against Mongo database and make it work against SQLite. Now SQLite, I kind of knew was going to have a little bit of variation because it's a SQL database. It just has Mongo drivers that allow you to translate what you're doing into the SQL database. Turns out there are imports that most of my services had that only work in the Go backend. They do not work in MongoDB. And that's because SQLite mostly. But also they won't compile into Android. Just can't compile them into Android. And I was like, is that so? So what it was doing, and I didn't realize this, luckily I had only done this for a few items because I did realize it before because I was watching all the errors and all the things that are coming out and things that are funky. And then the light started coming on. I'm like, what is going on here? How come we are having two code bases? Oh, it says, well, you can't do these here. So we're just basically creating Mongo Go mobile variations. I'm like, no, we are not doing Go mobile variations. No, I'm not creating two code bases. That was the whole point. We are not doing C# special code. We're not doing any of that nonsense. We are going to make this a single code base. What do we need to do? So I worked with AI. We re-planned out the strategy. And thus the reason I've been offline for a few days because I'm trying to get that working. What it comes down to is I needed to take out these imports, which meant I needed to create what amounts to a data layer for all of my services. And the data layer will basically be a split. So what's going to happen is I'll have a data layer that splits off to Go mobile data and splits off to MongoDB data, or SQLite and MongoDB. And all of the imports that were required for those items will be with the data layer. So then the services themselves call this data layer, saying, hey, I need this thing. And it'll go get depending on where we are, like if we're on the device, it'll go get the SQL layer. And if it's on the back end, it'll go get the Go mobile data. So basically it just depends on where we are. That's impressive, considering how rarely I'm on these days. Once a day seems to be about my norm. Sometimes two, but hey, by the way, I may be on when you are, but you have not been on when I am all the time. Just saying. I have actually been on a few times, and you didn't show up, so you're not 100%. Your odds are high, though. You do show up frequently. So I haven't been on in the mornings for sure lately because I've been trying to get other things done in the mornings and trying not to use the 5 to 11 window because I get double clawed if I stay out of 5 to 11 window. So I try to do all my stuff in the afternoons and evenings. But there you go. Total refactor for my offline. I've been rebuilding it. I am about a fraction of the way back to where I was, probably a third. And hopefully in the next day or so I'll have that done. And then I'll be back on my device. I'm still putting stuff on my device, but I got to keep working with it to get that rebuilt, structured. So yeah, progress. So there you go. There's my rant against video. Our AI haters. I'm the AI hater. I don't want to say I'm pro AI, people. I'm not. I mean, I am. I love a lot of what it does. I'm sorry. I don't care what you say. I understand that you're getting less good stuff, but you're getting way better stuff than you could ever get by any other means if you're poor. I'm serious. If you have no money, a game developer who is broke, which by the way is probably most of them, especially if they're indies, in the past could not get art in their thing. They had to be an artist. And I'm saying the same thing for game developers who are artists. Most of them could not code their way through out of a paper bag. And yeah, then they spend 6 years on a game that probably could have gotten done in 2 if they knew how to code. But now AI is there helping them. But they're okay with AI coding. It seems that artists say AI coding is okay. A-okay. You can, yeah, you're putting all the junior developers out of work, but so what? It's AI code. It's all right. But don't use AI art. You're a sinner if you're using AI art. Oh yeah, well, AI does and says a lot of bad stuff, but it also does and says some good stuff. You know, you really just got to learn to do your due diligence. Understand what you're getting, especially when you're asking questions. Understand what your capacity is for incorrect data. You know, if you're not too concerned about possible detours of data, then it's probably not a big deal. But if you're asking something important, like, will this medicine kill my dog? Probably don't want to confer with AI. That's kind of an important one. You don't want to get wrong. You know, is this plant poisonous? Yeah, you could ask, but I would really confirm its answer with somebody who really knows. You know, you got to learn to know where the draw the line is, people. They do use a little bit of common sense. All right, that's it for me for now. There's my little rant, my little fun, your update on my game. And I'll be back again. Till then, laters, bot. Everybody else, all of you,